Hey everybody, this is Yard King. Me and my dog River here, my Bomsky. We're out here chilling in the yard, and I found a really nice place to sit right underneath a peach tree. You just sit there in the shade. I mean, look at this. Bundles right beside my head. There is something going on, man. It's like the third ambulance that went past me. But yeah, this is a new nice place to sit. Very comfortable. I want to give you some updates in my yard. Some exciting things happening as a new gardener. You know, I got a long ways to go, but it's all a process. Hey River, hey River, give me 5. Give me 5. She knows lots of tricks, but she never does them outside. She always waits and does them inside. She gets distracted. Yeah, so let me give you some updates here. This is a kind of a solemn day because I'm starting a new position at my job, and I'll be doing a lot more hours, and so I'll have a little bit less time in the yard, but that's what a man does for his family. He does what he has to do, and so I'm very grateful to God for an opportunity to work and provide and pay for the bills. I'll do what any man would do for his family. So here's my peaches, man. There's a lot of peaches that had that clear nectar stuff coming out, this pectin stuff. I'm not sure if that means they were beaten by bugs or whatnot. I'm not sure what that means. This is the first year that it looks like I'm gonna have a harvest. So I'll let you know later on if a lot of my peaches are filled with bugs or whatnot. I'm not sure. This is the corn. We look like we had 2 come out, but it's only one. This was kind of experiment. No, River, no. So this is my Desert King. I was really hoping to get some Breba, and I don't have any Breba. Perhaps I didn't let it. Maybe it was just too young to do it. I'm not sure. But anyhow, hopefully next year I'll get some figs on this, because Desert King only produces fruit on last year's wood. It does produce figs, but they're not edible. So far my Celeste not produced anything yet. But this was in a pot this past year. It doesn't have a good root system yet. That was in a pot. This was not. It was in the ground. This is a brown turkey. This one over here is a Celeste. This is a brown turkey, and you see it's got a lot of figs on here. This is a persimmons tree that I'm excited to try. So I had another persimmons right there. You can see over here. I won't walk over there. Right there. I pulled it out of the ground. River! Uh-oh, she doesn't see the squirrels. So I pulled one up, and the reason being is I pulled this tree that I bought from Raine Tree. I was very, very upset with this tree. I felt like it was a waste of money. I bought it, and after I bought it, I heard on the grapevine on the internet that everybody struggles with it being sick and sickly, and bugs attack it. And sure enough, I mean, this tree had bugs that were ignoring all my other trees. They wanted to go after this one. This one is a Rosy Gage Plum, and they're supposed to taste delicious. No, River, she always wants to try the road. Get over here.
Hey, what tree?
Buddy, I'm doing a YouTube video here. This was the Rosy Gage Plum, okay? So
I think I remember that.
So anyhow, no, River, stop digging. So it had these big bugs in every single leaf there was. Stop it. Look, she's after a molehill. She smells the mole. There's a mole in here. You get away from the road, please. So, and then not only that, it had those little bitty teeny white bugs that left that sticky substance. I can't remember what it's called. The ladybugs like to eat them. And it was just like, they were everywhere. And I just like, I didn't know what to do. And I felt like it's gonna get all my other trees sick. Buddy, get away from the road. I'm doing a YouTube video, okay, buddy? All right. I do a YouTube video, and he's like, "Oh, it's my chance. It's my chance to talk about stuff." So, I pulled it up here, and I got my itty bitty Nikita's gift that I got for 29 bucks. They had two versions, a big version, and they didn't have the big version left. All they had was this small version, and let me tell you what, it does look like it's struggling. I'm watering it pretty often, but this is where the Ruby Sweet was, and this is kind of like this one and that one's like the best spots in my yard. It gets sun from morning to night in these two locations, and the soil's nice and dark. The only place that might be better is the peach tree. Might be a little better. Hey, Audrey. So he's over there somewhere. Oh, good job, sweetie. She got a bubble. So what was I saying? So I moved it over here, and I think I'm just gonna have to water it a whole bunch this year, and just take really good care of it. And I might even do some winter protection. And after next season, I don't think I'll have to worry too much about it. But this is just it's a beautiful tree when it grows fully. It's got fruit well into the winter time. So that's what I moved over here. You know, you got to get it right when they're small. Unfortunately, I've learned a bad mistake on here. I kept wondering, why are these limbs breaking? And it's because I tied them down with string. And this thing was growing rapidly. This is a green gage from Home Depot. And they kept breaking. It turns out it looked like the string that I was putting around it was suffocating the branches and actually going inside the bark and inside the, what do you call it? That green layer. So I fixed the problem, but it's gonna look a little bit weak for a while. I want to talk about my plans for this peach tree, because not only is these two going to be crowded, this is a dwarf tree. It's not going to get big. This one's a semi-dwarf, so it's a pretty big tree. But here's the problem. This one right here is also a semi-dwarf. You see this?
Man, that's the biggest fruit on the tree.
So this tree it's already bumping up against this. Audrey, I'm doing a YouTube video, sweetie. It's okay. So the reason I planted it here is, I'm not sure if you can see it in the video, but this tree and that tree over there, I had to raise it up, raise the dirt up, and because it was all clay, and I had to raise it above the ground so it could have some drainage. This one right here, right about this line right there, it started to turn into clay, and I would have had to done a whole bunch of soil amendments, and then it just wouldn't be in that great of a soil. So I wanted it closer to here.
That's the biggest fruit on the tree.
Yeah, I'll let you find them, and I'll point them out in a second. So after the plan is, after I harvest this tree, I'm going to do some heavy pruning on here to make space. Now this one, just like this one, I'm going to have this one to become an open center, just like that one is right there. So But in order to make space, I'm going to point the branches in such a way where they fit into each other. So this is what I'm talking about. So this one I'm going to cut off right here. That's just because the tree wants to close up and I don't want it to close up. This is the one that's going to be the really sad cut. I'm going to cut this one right here. That big, wonderful scaffolding branch to make room for this one. That's going to open up a lot.
Hey, Dad.
Hold on, buddy. I'm doing a video now, okay? You're going to show it to me in a second, okay? All right. And then this one right here, I'm going to cut. That's going to open that one up. And probably these two right here. And that's going to give that tree a lot of space. I even thought maybe I might cut that entire thing if I need to, but I don't feel like I have to do that this year. You know, maybe
the whole tree?
No, buddy, just this whole branch. If it doesn't work out, then I'll do that next year. So I'm not going to stress it out while I'm actually growing fruit. So when the fruit is harvested, then that's when I'll make those hard cuts. And all right, show me the biggest fruit, buddy.
Is it okay if I will?
No, I'm doing a video,
It's right
but
there.
yeah, I do agree. That one is a good one right there. There's a lot of big ones over there too.
Yeah, but this one's way bigger, right?
I'm like bumping my heads with them. Okay. So, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna free up that whole section and this whole section, and that'll give me a little space to play with. And then I can start shaping these branches and choosing the scaffolding branches to fit in these spaces. So like maybe one of them will come out like this way, right? And this won't even be here. This right here won't even be here to be in the way. And so they'll kind of fit together like a puzzle. Because remember, you control what the tree looks like. And let me show you why. This may look bad right now, but see this tree right here? This is gonna look like that one. It's open center. You know, I controlled this. I'm controlling what it looks like. It could just look like that and just big. But you want it to have that open center so that airflow can get in, sun can get in and hit the fruit and everything like that. And even now, some of this I got to cut out to make it a more outward. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a lot of pruning on this one. So this one, I'm shaping it and it's going to have this open center. You got to think about what's going to look like in the future. And I'm going to show you something exciting. Now, in the future, oh man, I'm not sure if I cut out or not. In the future, I'll have bigger fruit. I'm pretty sure I will. But I'm not sure you can see it. This one's starting to have some red fruit and it's a little soft. Look at here. It's starting to, it's a little soft. So it's just the beginning of June and I think it's gonna be bigger fruit in the beginning. Hey, listen, my phone was dying. I'm not sure if I was about to, if I lost any coverage on this or not. So here, this tree, I'm doing a lot of work to it. I'm trying to think about it, what I want it to look like in the beginning. See, this tree is on its second year. But see that big old tree right there? I actually planted that one. It's a Santa Rosa, and this is a Santa Rosa. So that Santa Rosa, I actually thought it was dead. And then I went and bought another one, put it in the ground. I put that one in a pot, and sure enough, it just started blooming later. It was a late bloomer. And then it grew like really well. But my neighbor, she said she'd take it because I didn't have space for it at the time. I probably would now, because now I bought this property right here. But she said she didn't have space for it. So I said, oh, she did, and she would like it. So I planted it for her. It's so big. I wish I'd kept it. But what she's choosing to do with that tree is she's just keeping it. She's keeping it like filled. And that's not what I want to do. If you go to orchards, they'll tell you that apple trees like to have a center lead, and they like to, but plums, what they need is they need the open center. And this tree was not like that. This tree was actually, because I put it up and that new soil was kind of loose, it was when the wind would come and knock it over, and it was actually tilting. So now I've staked it to kind of support it upright. I've cut out some of the center, and I'm slowly, over time, gonna make these branches bend down. This one is not what I want to see, but it's heading that direction, and I might have to bend it a little bit more later on. And I've just literally tied bungees, put it around hose right there, and I've tied it to rocks. So that just will open it up. It looks kind of like a robot right now, but eventually this tree will be an open shape. I'll be able to reach the fruit. That's what's important. And I'll be able to keep the light on it, so it'll keep it healthy. All right, let me show you a little bit of my blueberries. Check this out. These are two different varieties of blueberries. Look how big these blueberries are. These blueberries are huge. Now, I have yet to taste a fully ripe one, because every single time I'm about to eat one and I'm like, oh man, this is going to be completely ripe and juicy and sweet. Tomorrow, my kids come and pull it off and eat it. So there's going to be a war on blueberries. I can see it, like a multi-year war on blueberries. This is my pink lemonade. They're not swelling yet, but these will be pink blueberries. They'll be very interesting. And this is I'm pretty sure this is a Neil. Look at that little fellow. So some of them are trying to ripen up. You know, I gotta find, you know, what can I do to keep the birds away? I don't have any nets on me. So, all right. So that's that. Let me show you one other thing that's interesting. So I set these up. Let me show you what my plans is. Not for plants. I'm actually going to set up, what do you call it? June bug traps here, and then there's another one over there. I'm going to set those up. In the past, what I did is I put them low to the ground, but I've actually since seen YouTube videos where they suggest to keep it a little bit higher, so it's in a height that the June bugs prefer. You can come out, sweetie. You can come over here. All right, you blow the bubbles. So this is going to get attacked viciously. I was really disappointed about this cherry tree. There's some sort of nutrition that's missing in the ground. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely missing. Had lots of cherries, only about 20%. Lots of flowers, only about 20% turned to, what do you call it? Yeah, only about 20% turned into cherries, and the cherries didn't look good. And by the time they were ready, the birds ate them all. So it was really disappointing. This is my Concord grape, and they're starting to make something happen. I can't know if I can see it. Yeah, there you go. The Concord grapes growing, and there's a whole bunch of bunches like that in there. Eventually, I want to get a legitimate terrace, you know, with stakes. That'd be really cool. So that's what's going on. Of course, I got my figs out here, and they don't have any growth on them yet. Now the heat is finally picking up. This has been an incredibly cool spring. I know they talk about global warming, but it is not. It has been a really cold December. It's the coldest December that I've probably seen in a decade. No snow at all, which means there's a lot more ticks. I know 2 people at work that actually have Lyme disease from getting tick bites. I haven't seen any ticks, praise the Lord, in my house. I actually just put flea and tick down to help prevent it in my yard, protect my family. But thus far, these don't have any figs on it that I have seen. But it's new. This one right here I got from Walmart. It's new. This is a Violet de Bordeaux. I got it last year. I don't see anything yet on that. This is a Black Mission. I don't see anything on this. And this is June 1st. I mean, it's not a good situation when it's June 1st and you don't have any figs, because they generally take about 3 months or more to turn into an edible fig. So if you had figlets now, you're talking June, July, at the end of August, you'll start getting some figs. So if I don't start getting figs soon, it's gonna be too cold. And this has contributed to a very mild spring that is just now starting to heat up. I mean, just last week we had days where it was like, 70 is the high. We've had 2 weeks ago, it was like 67 was the high. It's ridiculous. Sometimes, I mean, maybe in other parts of the world, global warming's a thing. But here, man, I just feel, last summer felt like it was the coolest summer that I have in memory. I didn't have, usually there was like weeks where I just don't cut the grass in a row. No cutting the grass. It is too dry. It's too hot. I had to cut the grass every single week last year, without fail. So here, I'm not sure about this global warming thing. I've heard some crazy stuff that people are putting, aluminum spraying out of airplanes and stuff like that to try to cool the planet. I don't think I like that idea very much, But anyhow, like, comment, subscribe. Sorry about the conspiracy theories. I don't really know what's true. I just know a little disappointed about the heat. I needed more heat this spring. So my cherries could have used more heat. That's probably why they didn't do so good. The cherries probably came out and it's like, man, it's too cold to grow. It's too cold. I mean, there was just itty bitty cherries. There was no flesh on those cherries. And I know they do get big because 2 years ago I had some big old honking red cherries on that tree. So anyhow, like, comment, subscribe. Peace. Hope my fella here keeps the birds away.
Daddy, we're at treehouse.
What, sweetie?
We're at treehouse. We found
The treehouse.
Perfect place for a treehouse.
Yeah, but y'all make sure you don't hurt my peaches.
We're not. We're not. We're not.
Peace.